a villain. I'm not judging.
What's up, y'all? It's Anime Gamer back with another video. So, tonight I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to talk about something that's a huge issue. Something that seems to be a very huge problem for women and men both, and you know, it's just it's a huge issue. It honestly really is, you know. But tonight, I'm going to talk about slow fade. There is quite a bit to get into on this, so kind of bear with me. So, slow fade is basically, it is a form of gaslighting, and honestly, this one, you know, it'll leave you feeling some pretty nasty stuff. Like, I mean, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, you know, all that bad stuff. Like, so, I'm gonna get into this, so, you know, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. You know, I wasn't sure, you know, if I should talk about this or if I was going to talk about something else, because I had thought about talking about stuff like Munchausen. But I picked this topic. I picked it for a reason. Felt like that I should probably talk about this a little bit more than Munchausen. Both are really bad, you know, but based on the other videos I've done, I think, you know, I should probably talk about this. So, anyway, sorry for the kind of like a little long intro kind of type of stuff, you know, but anyway, slow fade is when someone gradually, you know, they decrease communication, you know, contact, you know, with a romantic interest, you know, until they pretty much are completely gone, until they completely disappeared. And, you know, with slow fade, you know, this stuff here, it's brutal. And it honestly, to be honest with you, it's probably one of the most brutalest topics I've talked about on this channel. It's that brutal. And, you know, another thing too is, like, you know, if you're very familiar with like gaslighting, stuff like that, then it's possible you may have had this happen to you. A lot of men and women's had it happen to them. You know, men slow fading women, women slow fading men, and you know, when women are slow fading men and men are slow fading women, that's pretty bad. But essentially, you know, it's pretty much ending a relationship, you know, with pretty much out saying they're going to end it. You know, it's kind of like a passive-aggressive way to break stuff off. And, you know, it starts, you know, with a gradual decline. It starts with a gradual decline of, like, you know, they'll respond slow to your messages, or they, you know, take longer to make plans, go on dates. you know, but they will not directly say they are not interested, you know, but they're not. And, you know, another thing is like, you know, if you're a victim of slow fade, you're going to have a lot of depression over it, a lot of anxiety. It's going to make you question a lot of stuff. You know, you're going to have a lot of questions, and I'm not going to say I can't answer a lot of those. You know, that's something, because I don't know every single person on planet Earth, so, but what I can do is tell you what it is, kind of break it down a little bit for you. You know, because that's one of the things we do here on the channel, so, but, it can be extremely emotionally damaging. Like some people, honestly, if they've been slow faded, they honestly don't recover. You know, like I've heard of people being slow faded, and you know, it's been 10, 20 years and they still are not over it. Because it really, you know, it'll make you question your self-worth and stuff. And, you know, when you're questioning your self-worth, that is not good. And there's literally just two people standing here. I don't know why. We're going to lose this for sure. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna completely damage your self-worth big time. And you know, if you're a victim of slow fade, it's just, you know, it's hard to catch a break, you know, from your emotions. It's just, oh hey, what's up? It's just, it's very hard to get over it. But, you know, another thing they do is they will give like vague excuses on canceling plans. Just a little bit like what we talked about, a little bit of stuff last night. You know, that they offer short one-word responses, obviously. Take longer to reply to messages, initiating fewer conversations with you. And they become less enthusiastic about plans, you know. And the main reason people, you know, will slow fade is, you know, having a difficult conversation about ending things. They can't face you and say, you know, hey, you know, I think we should end it or whatever. You know, they refuse to do it. They will not do it. And they will turn to this method here because there's no confrontation. There's nothing stopping them at this point, you know, from doing it. And you know, it's just it's a bad topic. Like, it honestly really is. Like, to be honest with you, I kind of dreaded talking a little bit about this. You know, because I know what this is like. I really do. You know, and one of the reasons I said, you know, like, the slow fade will cause emotionally, you know, permanent damage is because not only have I seen people talk about it, but, you know, I know from my case, you know, that it's pretty bad. Like, you know, so, but if you are like that, you know, if you can find like a therapist, get some help, you know, definitely do it, because if you don't, then that's not going to be good, like, at all, because it's just, it really is bad. Like, it's just, it's bad to no end. And, you know, but, you know, if you suspect slow fade, I'm going to say this pretty early in the video, address it directly. You know, Be confrontational about it. They're not going to want a confrontation, but, you know, let them know that you are not going to be slow-faded. They either just tell you up front, hey, I'm not dealing with slow fade, you just leave me now, or I'll do it for you. You gotta accept their situation, accept their decision, because if they're no longer interested, you know. So their decision, they've already moved on, obviously, and you know, consider, you know, if you want to be someone, obviously, be with someone who can't be upfront with stuff like this, you know, with their feelings, and you know, consider that, because if you can't be like upfront with your feelings, like, you know, it's just not going to work, you know, y'all. It's just not, and it's just not, you know. And another thing too, I know it's probably going to be a question, so I'm going to answer this question also pretty early in the video. Is there a chance that the slow fader can come back? Okay, so this is kind of a tricky question. The short answer is yes. So, I mean, I guess you could probably just say, oh, I'm going to go off that, you know, but a lot of times they don't come back. So, you know, it just really depends on that person. If they're feeling like, oh, hey, it didn't work, and then they might try to come back to you, like use you as kind of like a rebound, you know. And I plan to talk about rebounding too, you know, in a video. I might do that tonight. I don't know. Because I'm going to do another topic tonight as well. So, but, yeah, it's very much like rebounding when it comes to that stage, you know, to that question, because, yeah, sure, they could come back, you know, but it's not going to be, they're genuinely interested, you know. It's not going to be anything, you know, that's like, hey, you know, I'm genuinely interested in you, and, you know, I'm just going to do all this stuff, and, you know, just, yeah, it does stink. It does suck. But it's just like, you know, if you're being slow faded by a slow fader, the best thing you can do, honestly, is you gotta accept it. You gotta accept it, because, you know, there is no going back, you know. So, but now, when it comes to, like, who does this more, men or women, I don't know. I guess it's about equal, I guess, on this, possibly. Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. So, either way, you know, regardless, it's bad. You know, slow fade, though, is not the same as ghosting, Mo. In a sense, it's a type of ghosting, but, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's a little different, you know. So, you know, but yeah, you know, it's just like, you know, try to seek some help if you're a victim of slow fade. You know, but slow fade is also differently from simply not knowing what you want as well. You know, it's different from that. So don't think of like, oh, you don't know what you want, you know. But no, it's not like that at all. You know, they clearly know, you know, but, you know, they're not interested in you. They are not interested in you, and, you know, they are not going to end it properly. They're not going to end it properly, and what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to end it, you know, pretty much by just disappearing, ghosting, you know. But, I mean, it's kind of like ghosting, but it's kind of not, you know. There's a lot more involved, you know, when it comes to stuff like that. But, you know, you're generally not sure, like, about any of it if you're the victim of it, because, I mean, you obviously just are sitting here, you're like, well, dang, what exactly, you know, am I to do about this? Honestly, you know, and there's people who refuse to do slow fade, to be honest, who will actually do it, you know, the loving thing to do, and a lot of people sadly do not do this, you know, but, you know, slow fade, you know, it's a charade that someone puts on, you know, when they decide to end the relationship, but they're like, oh, well, I don't want to share the decision, though. Weird, I know, but, you know, it's like, these people are narcissists, so, I mean, and when they're narcissists, they don't do things right. They really honestly don't. And I talk about these kinds of people all the time on the channel, and, you know, but, you know, and like I said again, you know, it does vary depending if they will return, like I was talking about earlier. You know, there's no guarantee, you know, but the thing is, like, if they're slow fading you, you shouldn't want them to return. That's what I'm going to say. You should not want them to return, because if you honestly do want them to return, I don't know, that doesn't seem too good to me, like, you know, because they're obviously going to do this crap again. They're going to do this crap again, you know. You might say, oh, well, you know, past is past, you know. That's true on some levels, you know, but like when it comes to this, they will do it again. They're not interested in you, they're bored. You know, the slow fade, it's not kind. It's a form of gaslighting that can cause emotional damage. You know, like I said earlier, it's not the same as gaslighting, but, you know, it's a form of it, you know, and, you know, you will never get clarity, you know, or closure in a slow fade. I can tell you that now. You will not get that. And that's one of the reasons why it is extremely damaging to be a victim of this, because, you know, it's like, if you're a victim of slow fade, you know, it's going to affect you really bad. And, you know, but I'm sorry, I'm trying to get these. I'm really focused on this game. I apologize. But another thing too is, like, you know, when you're not getting clarity, it's like, you know, how are you supposed to heal from that instead of doing the kind way to end the relationship, you know? So, but no, they don't want to do that. They don't want to, and they genuinely they don't care either way, you know. And it's just like a lot of this other stuff they do, a lot of this other heartless crap that they do, and
I grew up
but anyway, if you've ever been slow faded, you'll know what I'm talking about, and it's not fun. It really isn't. And Hawk got me crap. You know, it's basically, you know, the way it is they will also send mixed signals. They will send a lot of mixed signals and stuff like this, and the slow fade stuff. Like, you know, they'll pretend, you know, the relationship is intact before they do it. You know, they'll send mixed signals, but they'll slowly kind of drift away, you know, and, you know, you'll catch on, you know, a lot of people will catch on, you know, most people do catch on this, you know, and it's just like, you know, no, not going to put up with this. You are not going to slow fade me. Like, that's how the attitude you need to have is, you know, and it's just, it's a sad reality, to be honest, you know, but sadly it is a reality. But yeah. So, but there's also different, people way this occurs naturally. They and what some people will do is like they'll try to maintain the friendship, which is that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, if you're being slow faded, why in the hell would you want to be friends with someone who couldn't even be open with you to end the relationship? That's not even going to be a good friend, So why would you want to do that? It's like, I understand, you may have trouble like letting go or, but like if they're slow fading, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it, y'all. It's not, they don't care. They really don't. And if they do not care about you, get rid of them. They are not worth having in your life. And, I say it all the time, get rid of them if, because they're not really not worth having in your life. And it's like, man, we were so close to winning this. There we go, got it. Another thing too, also is, people, like I said before, they will slow fade when they become uncomfortable with confrontation. Truth be told, a lot of people's done this. A lot of people has done this. And they're not honestly caring about what the other person's feeling. They really do not. It's very passive aggressive behavior, and people will also slow fade because they're like, oh well, what you had, doesn't warrant an official breakup, So it's like, they think less of you. They like to even break up with you. Like, it's kind of like they're not even with you to begin with, But they also slow fade because they're afraid to possibly reject you. And they definitely slow fade because it's very easy. It's a very easy thing to do, and it's just, it's not good. It's really not. Like, if you've ever been on that side of the fence where you've been slow faded, I'm not necessarily talking about on a dating site. I'm talking about someone, you text and possibly see, you've hung out with them before, stuff like that, But it sucks. It really does. But it's something you got to watch out for. Best to do is not dwell on it. Move on. You want to call them out on their bad behavior, though. Remember that. Call them out on their bad behavior, by all means. Because, stop, I say all the time, stop rewarding bad behavior. Stop putting up with bad behavior. Call it out. Call it out for what it is, because, Jesus called out sin and other bad behavior. Why can't you? Like, that you're honestly supposed to. Like, if someone's ghosting you, call it out. If someone is, flea bagging, call them out. If someone is, you doing apology, call them out. Do not let them get away with the behavior. Call them out. Let them know that you are not going to let them do this behavior with you. They may be able to do it with other people, but they will not do it with you. So, yeah, don't let them. I don't know what the point of that was. I guess to drag them in so you can attack. But, you'll want to know why they rejected you. of course, ask them. You know, make sure you ask, because, and don't let them lie either. Do not let them lie, you know, and when you call them out, after you've called them out, don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on getting an answer, because, you know, if they won't give you one, don't dwell on the answer you'll probably get, because more than likely they're not going to tell you, they are not going to tell you the truth. They're really not. And so, I mean, it's just, you know, good luck, you know, with it. But, you know, these people are very unlikely to come back, you know, and the impact on this person, they also feel confused if they've been slow-faded, very confused, wondering what the hell went wrong, you know, and they have no clear communication, no clear explanation. You know, obviously there's lack of communication, that they will not know what the heck is going on. Like, they'll sit there and probably question that for years, you know, if they even stop questioning it, you know, because when they get into another relationship, they're going to be like, you know, well, what if this happens again, you know, so-and-so, they did this and that, and, you know, I never knew anything, you know, like, why, you know, so it's like, who's to say this other person won't do it, you know, but, yeah, it's a very tough one to deal with, it really is. It's a betrayal is what it is. It's a betrayal, and, you know, it's not something I would wish on my own worst enemy. I wouldn't. And, you know, it's bad all the way around. It really is. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse, you know, but, you know, I pretty much, you know, talked about it, but things I would do, I'm going to talk about things I would do now if you've been slow-faded. Try to get help for it, you know, if you can. If you can't, then, I mean, try to pray about it, obviously. I mean, that's probably one of the best things you can do, like, but it's rough to deal with. It's rough stuff. It really, honestly, genuinely is. It is rough to deal with, and if you've dealt with it before, you know what I'm talking about. You know, if you've genuinely cared about that person and you've been slow-faded, you know what I'm talking about, and it's just, it's bad all the way around, y'all. It really is. I know I've said that like multiple times, but anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Obviously, I'm not going to make this one long. I'm going to move on to the next topic. So I will see y'all here in a few minutes. So, you know, thanks for tuning in, if you tuned in. Yeah, you know, I'm going to end this one here, and, you know, God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one.